As court orders recall of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan, another fines her for contempt. Experts urge food safety and hygiene to combat typhoid. And reactions trail passing of ex-Super Eagles keeper Peter Rufai. Hello and welcome to the News Desk at 3 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. A court has ordered the Senate to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja made the order, saying that the lawmaker representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, who was suspended for 6 months, was excessive. The trial judge, Justice Binta Nyako, gave the order in a verdict in the suit filed by the senator against the Senate and its leadership. In the meantime, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has found Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan guilty of contempt following a satirical apology she posted on her Facebook page. Justice Binta Nyako gave the order in a preliminary issue in the matter challenging her suspension of the Senate. The court fined the senator 5 million naira, which is to be paid into the court registry. Healthcare professionals say that increasing awareness among food handlers and Nigerians in general about food safety protocols and an intensified effort to maintain proper personal hygiene, as well as adopting safe food production practices, is critical to national efforts aimed at reducing the burden of typhoid fever and transitioning Nigeria from an endemic country to one with better disease control. The healthcare experts shared the insight on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, where they discussed the topic, diagnosis and treatment of typhoid. Olusheye Adeagbo reports.
See the challenge about typhoid fever.
Dr. Kasmel Ifeanyi, National President, Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria, explained the causes of typhoid fever, emphasizing environmental factors that contribute to its continued endemicity in the country.
As you go further from the Lungu into the crannies of the slum and other places, even under tree, you can find somebody holding himself out to the public that he is able to perform testing, particularly for typhoid. And so we have to also speak to the issue of the meddlesomeness, the intrusion of quacks and charlatans. So the issue continues. If we even go further, the diagnosis of typhoid is very costly.
The healthcare professionals stressed that targeted educational campaigns could help close knowledge gaps, promote vaccination, and encourage preventive behaviors among the public.
That the high incidence of typhoid that we have is because of our behavior. First, let's start with ourselves. Our hygiene practices are very poor. Most people don't wash their hands. I think the public should take responsibility for this.
I just want to say malaria can also mimic typhoid. So the only way we can do is to carry out appropriate diagnosis. Then secondly, the way we interpret weather tests in this country, I think medical personnel, they need to look into it. There are systematic approach. Not one-off weather test is a confirmation that an individual has typhoid.
The experts agreed that Nigeria lacks efficient diagnostic testing for typhoid fever and called for the inclusion of the typhoid vaccine in the country's routine immunization program, particularly to protect children and reduce the disease burden. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Nigerians will soon stop travelling outside the country for medical treatments. The Senate Committee on Industries gave this assurance when the chairman of the committee, Francis Faddaunsi, and members of the committee were on an oversight visit to NISA Medical Group in Maitama, Abuja, which is still under construction. Thomas Ogbetere reports.
Nigeria is working to end medical tourism by developing world-class healthcare facilities. Senate Committee on Industries is hopeful that the NISA Medical Group in Maitama, Abuja, once completed, will provide top-quality medical services.
By the time this one is on, you see a lot of big men coming here. And our foreign reserve will be okay now. There will be no depletion.
Instead of Nigerians going abroad for medical treatment, we will be receiving people from abroad coming here for medical treatment.
Speaking during the visit, the Group Medical Director of NISA Medical Group explained that with the National Healthcare Insurance Authority, more Nigerians will be able to afford the services at the facility.
So this center, in as much as the target is high-level healthcare, it's not absolutely for only the rich. Everybody will have a share of this cake.
And we also expect that the brain drain that currently happens would actually slow down, if not stop.
The project, which is being funded by the support of the Bank of Industry, once completed, is expected to deliver safe, high-quality healthcare to Nigerians. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
Speedy implementation of the national policy on marine and blue economy is a catalyst Nigeria needs to unlock the potential of the maritime ecosystem to be in an advantage position among the Committee of Nations. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Gboyega Oyetola at a one-day stakeholders engagement with industry players says with legislative framework now ready, it is time to take action. Joel Pokwala has the report.
Forging a united action is the thrust of this enlarged gathering of stakeholders with the theme strengthening collaboration for effective implementation of national policy on marine and blue economy. The Minister Gboyega Oyetola described the Federal Executive Council's approval of the national policy on marine and blue economy designed to revamp the maritime ecosystem as a workable template capable of fast-tracking attainment of the ministry's agenda.
Nigeria is championing the operationalization of the Regional Maritime Development Bank under the Maritime Organization of West and Central Africa, MOCA, with its headquarters here in Abuja. The bank is poised to provide long-term financing for maritime infrastructure and supporting cross-border trade.
Zero piracy and a 75% performance score in 2024 as evaluated by the Central Results Delivery Coordination Unit under the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination are among salient achievements of the last 2 years.
We are focused on modernizing our port infrastructure. The federal government has approved the contracts for the reconstruction of the Apapa and Tinkan ports. Procurement is ongoing for the Eastern ports.
Earlier, the Permanent Secretary Olufemi Oloruntola, who identified the input of industry players and joined them to play active parts in its implementation.
Success will depend on how well we coordinate, collaborate, and communicate across all levels of governance and operations.
Other discussions by experts centered on fostering institutional synergy and driving inclusive development across sub-sectors. With impressive performances by various departments and agencies under the ministry, experts are optimistic that the industry will gain traction. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
The network of national human rights institutions of West Africa has resolved to work in harmony with relevant agencies to promote and protect human rights institutions across the West African region. The group made this known at the end of a 3-day engagement on issues of human rights as it affects the West African region. Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, at the engagement reiterated that the federal government is committed to the cause of promotion and protection of human rights of Nigerians.
Government of Nigeria, I thank you for the honor of addressing this distinguished gathering. I offer my continued support and that of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as we work together to advance justice for Africa and people of African descent across the globe.
Let us work together to amplify the voices of those who have been marginalized and silenced. Let us strive to create a more just and equitable society where the rights of all individuals are respected and protected.
Nigeria is committed to promoting, protecting, and enforcing human rights, and we are honored to have you present in Abuja throughout this event. We look forward to engaging with you and sharing experiences and learning from your perspectives.
Most of us who are even A status now don't sit on your laurels. You need to be up and doing, and even doing more, so that when the time comes, you don't have any difficulty.
The Network of Human Rights Institutions of West Africa elected the Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, Tony Ojukwu, as its new president. In other news, Chinese partners and key figures in embroidery space are collaborating to strengthen embroidery's role in creating sustainable job opportunities, particularly for Nigerian youths. Suleiman Abdul Wahab reports on the tradition and stitching the future as a bold initiative, celebrating embroidery as a powerful tool for skills building and economic empowerment.
In order to increase the economic growth through collaboration, we all need to have what they call capacity building.
These programs offers training, resources, and a supportive space to help people, especially women and young people, build embroidery businesses in the country.
Of contemporary embroidery, we all know this had existed in every facet of life back in the days.
The purpose of this gathering is for people to get awareness on the issues relating to fashion, how they can upscale in the fashion industry, things that are missing, and how to connect with people.
So I want to invest the Nigeria market because this is the first time I come here. So after this investigation, we will go back to our head office and talk about build office, a branch office here to make the after-sale service market in Nigeria is better.
Panelists at the event highlighted how embroidery can drive economic growth in Nigeria and across Africa. Despite challenges like limited funding and exposure, the program proposed solutions such as grants, mentorship, and digital platforms to help businesses grow.
We have not got kind of a seminar as a stakeholder fashion embroidery. This is the first time with the partners from China to enlighten us how to operate our machines and how to go.
A key highlight was the interest from Chinese embroidering companies who admired Nigerians' designs and are eager to collaborate. This creates exciting opportunities for global partnership and market expansion. In Abuja, Suleiman Tobu Abdul Wahab, NTA News.
This is the News Desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Still ahead. United States of America marks 249th Independence Day. Stay with us.
The Baffy Furniture Shopping Festival is here. From June 15th to August 15th, enjoy 20%, 30%, up to 50% off on most products. Explore 2025 exclusive collections at discounted prices, plus wedding packages with a free TV stand gift. Plus, free delivery and installation in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu. Customize your favorite sets in your preferred color and fabric, from kid-friendly options to our luxurious smart beds. Don't miss out. Shop now at Baffy Furniture.
You're welcome back. The Fact-Finding Committee on the Plateau Crises says it is optimistic that its continued engagements with stakeholders and affected communities across Plateau states will provide the state's government with workable solutions to end the incessant violence and restore lasting peace in the state. This was during the committee's visit to Jos South and Barkin-Ladi local government areas of the state. Ijoma Zemina has more. All right, so we'll get that report to you in our subsequent bulletins. Now, Nigeria's health sector leadership is stepping up efforts to develop sustainable financing models for the country's immunization programs, with the target of reducing reliance on external funding and advocating for prompt release of budgetary allocations for vaccines to avert potential shortages. At a multi-stakeholder technical workshop on immunizing financing, participants advanced discussions on a proposed bill of the National Assembly leadership on health seeking to make vaccine procurement a first-line charge in the national budget, an initiative expected to secure guaranteed and timely funding for immunization efforts across the country. Oluseyi Adegbu reports.
Can you imagine a picture, a scenario where children gather on a day for immunization, and you come out and you say, sorry, there is no vaccine, please, can you go back home?
Nigeria is on the brink of child health emergency as vaccine stockout threatens millions vulnerable children under the age of 5.
We were able to reach almost 3 million zero-dose children, meaning children who had not been vaccinated before.
But the lack of transparency is also at the national level, I must mention. We must close those gaps and make our resources work for the intended purposes.
Our financing by government is not only inadequate, but it is not being released predictably, even that is inadequate.
In response, national efforts are gaining momentum. Lawmakers and key health sector stakeholders are coming together with proactive solutions spearheaded by the House of Representatives Committee on Healthcare Services, with focus on pushing forward critical dialogue.
We have had in the past where we had the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, which made a difference to how primary healthcare is being financed, health insurance and emergency. So we said, why not also have a first-line charge for immunization in particular? If that alone will make sure that we have vaccines always available.
Delay in releases of funds for immunization, sickness and diseases that we vaccinate against will not delay. And therefore, that's why we're calling on everyone that is responsible for timely release of funds for immunization to wake up.
This initiative, driven by the Partnership to Reach Zero-Dose Children PREACH project under the Vaccine Network for Disease Control, has already developed a sustainable immunization financing strategies.
We are committed to establishing what is known as the vaccine tracking mechanism, to bring down the vaccine wastage rate, to also ensure that the value for money that is ascribed, is also achieved.
Let me tell you, vaccines are miracles. Miracles that prevent death. So whatever it takes to prevent the death of our children is what we should be talking about. And this gathering today, that is what it's about. We need to make sure that vaccines get to all those that need them, and it takes money.
Participants in Nigeria's national immunization program say the high-level involvement in their engagement signals strong political will towards achieving long-term sustainability in funding essential health programs. In Abuja, Oluseyi Adegbu, NTA News.
Let's go back to that report on the Fact-Finding Committee on the Plateau Crises, saying it is optimistic that its continued engagements with stakeholders and affected communities across the states will provide the state governments with workable solutions to end incessant violence and restore lasting peace in the state. Here again is Ijoma Zemina's report.
Member committee assigned by the Plateau State government is saddled with the responsibility of knowing the root causes of the lingering attacks in the state from 2001 to date. It is in this light that the committee has been visiting affected local government areas and communities. As part of its continued engagement with security agencies, traditional leaders, youth groups, and stakeholders, where it discussed the persistent security challenges facing the communities, including attacks, displacement, destruction of farmlands, and property, among others.
Appeal to the government, if you can help us to bring maybe a security outpost around this place, so that we people will be safe.
We here, we want peace.
Write what they have seen, and they will also profile solutions in their recommendations to the governor.
The committee chairman, Major General Nicholas Grujas, notes that peace building requires collaboration among all parties, government, security agencies, traditional rulers, and community members.
We've spoken and we'll have a very useful discussion, and we'll assure you that we'll build on it.
The committee visited Gero and Dogo Nahawa communities in Jos South local government area, as well as Mahanga, Rope, and Gashish communities in Barikin Ladi, where it interacted with affected residents and assessed the extent of destruction in Jos. Ijoma Ozemena, NTA News.
Now, 249 years ago, a group of people embarked on a revolution by signing a document for the Declaration of Independence for their country, not minding the severe implications that could result from such action if it failed. That declaration was adopted on July 4th, 1776, giving birth to what is known today as the United States of America. Comfort Fashion reports on the commemoration of the U.S. 249th Independence celebration in Abuja.
The atmosphere here is filled with excitement, handshakes, smiles, and clinking of wine glasses, accompanied by a soft background music. The night in Nigeria marks the celebration of America's independence from the rule of the United Kingdom. The occasion was also used to bid USAID farewell. The exit of USAID was due to change in policy of the country's administration on aid.
USAID's work concludes at the mission. Let me assure all of you, especially our Nigerian friends, the life-saving programs we have built together will continue, sustained through our partnership with Nigeria. Our partnership with Nigeria continues to evolve, and we are now anchoring that partnership in a commitment to prosperity, to increasing commerce and trade between our two countries, and increasing opportunities for workers in both our countries.
We take pride in the progress we have achieved together, and Nigeria remains steadfast in its commitment to furthering this vital relationship.
The event is an indication to the guests that the freedom of America did not just come easy, but through courage, patriotism, and unity by the founding fathers. The values which is kept alive from generations to these days continue to shape the nation's democratic principles and global presence. From the U.S. Embassy in Abuja, I am Comfort Fashion, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu expresses great sadness at the passing of legendary Super Eagles goalkeeper Peter Rufai, who was 61. The president, in a release by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, condoles with the Rufai family, friends and football enthusiasts on the demise of the inimitable goalkeeper, fondly called Dodo Mayana by his numerous fans and football lovers all over Nigeria. President Tinubu notes that Peter Rufai would be remembered as one of those patriotic sportsmen who wrote their names in gold in the sporting annals of Nigeria and the African continent. The president recalled with fond memories the heroic contributions of Rufai in the historic victory of the Super Eagles at the 1994 edition of the Africa Cup of Nations in Tunisia, as the first-choice goalkeeper, followed by Nigeria's equally epoch-making first appearance at the FIFA World Cup, dubbed USA 94, and the subsequent edition in France in 1998. Rufai started his career with Stationery Stores of Lagos in 1980 and was one of the earliest footballers in Nigeria to go professional, playing in many European countries, including Belgium, Spain, Portugal, and the Netherlands, bringing honor to the nation and opening a new window of opportunities for young footballers in Nigeria. After he retired from active football, Peter Rufai, a prince of the Royal House of Idimu, Lagos, set up the Star of Football Academy, where he continued to inspire, mentor, and nurture young footballers. The president prays for comforts for all those who mourn Rufai's loss and for the repose of his soul. And that concludes the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.